Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jacqueline and I am currently getting a master's in social work. So because I'm in advanced standing, this is my only year of the master's program, but I did spend about 6 years in undergrad with a major change and everything like that. So I have used numerous sources regarding websites and apps to get me through. There's so much out there that can help us college students, and some of these can even help high schoolers, work smarter, not harder. So I wanted to give you some apps and websites that will help college students. Because I have a lot here, I'm going to just get right into it, and I'm going to start out with books. So if you're a college student, you probably know that most likely you're going to have to buy your own textbooks, whereas in high school and all that stuff, they usually just give them to you. In regards to that, I've tried a lot of websites and I have narrowed it down to a few that I find really good deals on. So the first one is Amazon Book Rentals, and if you are a Prime member, maybe you've heard of this. Amazon Book Rentals is a really popular one. I find that they have really good deals, and I think most of my books actually have come from Amazon Book Rentals. So along with Amazon Book Rentals, with your student email that you'll get from your school, you can sign up and get a major discount on Amazon Prime's annual fee. So instead of the like $119, I think it is now, I think the student discount is like $59 or something like that, but I'm not 100% sure. That's actually only lasted for 4 years, so I did do the student discount for the annual fee, and now since I did it for 4 years, I can't do it again even though I'm still a student. So yeah, but it is significantly discounted, so I would definitely take advantage if you can. Yeah, next one is Campus Book Rentals, and this is another good one I've used. It's just like a typical, I guess, book rental website, but I figured I'd throw it out there for just more price comparisons. Chegg is a really popular one. And when you order from Chegg, sometimes you get like a box of like extra stuff, like, I don't know, stickers. Sometimes they put in like a granola bar, like something like that. So it's really cool. I think Chegg has amazing prices. If I had to choose with like where I would most likely get my books from, it's definitely like Chegg and Amazon Book Rentals. So I highly recommend that. Sometimes you can go on eBay. So my DSM-5 that I got was from eBay. It was from a third-party like seller, like someone who just had a bunch of copies, I guess, that were, I guess, slightly used but really new looking. So sometimes you can go on eBay and get some third-party sellers on that. Slugbooks. So Slugbooks is something I tell a lot of people about because it's a price comparison website. So when you go to Slugbooks, you'll be able to type in the name of the title and it will show you all the prices that they have under that book. So I'm going to insert like a little clip here of showing you just a random social work, typing in social work, but you can type in the exact title of your book and it will show you a bunch of websites comparison prices, and they actually go off of buying or renting. There's ebooks, so that's another thing that I can throw out there, is that there's also like ebooks out there that are usually way cheaper than both renting and buying books. So if you don't mind reading off of your laptop or phone and things like that, ebooks can be really awesome as well. It's definitely based off what you like to read from. So moving on from books, we're going to be starting with some apps, and some apps would be, the first one being Study Blue. So as a social work student, I haven't used Study Blue, but this was more for my undergrad years of like gen ed classes. What Study Blue is that it's basically an app for flashcards. So you can make your own flashcards, you can look at other people's flashcards that they've made regarding the subject. I think you can probably like share based on your friends' flashcards and kind of like study off of each other's. Again, I haven't been on the app in a while, but yeah, that app saved me when I was in like so many of my general education courses. If you have a major that is more studying based off flashcards and memorization and things like that, then I would highly suggest that app. So Grammarly is another app. You can actually install it into your laptop, so that's what I have into my laptop. So whenever I type an email or anything like that, it kind of like corrects your spelling and your grammar, and I think you can pay for more premium parts of the Grammarly website. But yeah, that's a really good one for grammar and spelling. Other apps that can help would be like ones that help you focus. I've named the app Flora before. So basically that is a habit tracker, focus tracker type of thing, and that has worked for some people. So there's an app called Freedom. I have never used it, but it is one of those apps that help you restrict internet access or app access. And there's, I think, a lot out there, but basically you can choose which websites and which apps to kind of block for a limited amount of time. So when you're studying, you're not tempted to go on those apps and use them. I have heard from people that they found that really helpful. So there's tons of focus apps out there and habit trackers. Notes apps is another one. Like basically you can even use the Notes app in your phone. That's what I do. I use that for to-do lists all the time. But then there's apps like Evernote where you can do notes and organize your notes on that. So there's tons of apps regarding like organization, task management, time management, that kind of thing that can help you. Another website is Unidays. So that website actually gives student discounts, and they give you like little promo codes that you can use on websites, and they work with tons of stores. And basically you sign up for an account using your .edu email address, and that's how they know you're a student. So they verify you through that, and then you can make an account, and when you go on internet shopping or whatever, you can basically just go to Unidays, type in the store you're shopping at. They'll give you promo codes for stuff, and it is really awesome. So student discounts in general, even if you're in a store like in person, you can actually ask the cashier if they do student discounts. I've done it multiple times, and you never know, sometimes they do. Another app that a lot of people probably know about is Audible, and Audible works through Amazon, but I am mentioning it because I know if you have books that you're assigned to in class, not necessarily textbooks, but just like reading books for like a literature class or something, you can check on Amazon and see if it's on there. That way you can listen to it while you're driving, or if you're just not a big reader, you can listen to the ebook. I know that a lot of people, especially if you don't have time and you're just like going from school to work to, you know, everything like that, all the stuff in between, you can listen to that book that you have to read in your car. So definitely throwing Audible out there, because sometimes you might be able to find your reading book on there. So some websites that are really awesome is Rate My Professor. Rate My Professor is basically what it kind of sounds like. You go on and you type in your professor's name, the school you're at, things like that, and it brings up like a rating of the professor, and you can actually get reviews on people. I found that most of the time the professors are on there, especially if they've been at the school long enough, but there's always those rare occasions where if it's a new professor, they might not be on there or something like that. But yeah, most of the time I found that professors aren't on there, and it's really accurate because students review the teacher. For example, they'll be like, this person's really hard on homework, or you know, they read off PowerPoints all the time, don't buy the book, you don't need it, like little things like that. So that's really helped when I've put my schedule together. I always go on Rate My Professor before I've made any schedule of mine, because in college you most likely are creating your own schedule, and depending on how many classes are offered in that section, they'll have different professors, and you want to go based off the one that has a really good rating and they are a good professor. So another website, especially that's really good for social work students, is Purdue OWL. That has a lot of like citations if you want to know how to do APA format. At least at my school, all our papers are APA, and they have like APA, MLA, all those things, and they really tell you how to cite things and how to put in text citations and references, things like that, and that's important for papers for sure. And speaking of papers, I always use thesaurus.com or Power Thesaurus, and those two websites are basically thesaurus websites that tell you words that are similar to the one you're trying to find that sounds a little bit better. So anytime I'm trying to make you know, good in the sentence sound better, they'll bring up a bunch of synonyms that sound way better in a paper and more professional. So I definitely love the thesaurus websites. I've been using those for years. It really makes your papers sound a little bit more elevated and professional when you have those type of words in it. So yes, thesaurus websites for sure. Another common one you might have heard about or are already using is Google. So Google offers a lot on their platform, from the, Google Calendar, Google Documents. You can have, like, if you have a Google account, you have access to a lot. So you can have like a Google Drive where you can do documents. If you don't have like Word on your computer, you can use Google Docs and it's completely free. They have like an Excel type of similarity where I think it's called Google Sheets. And then they also have a PowerPoint similarity. So I'm pretty sure it's called Google Slides. So you can kind of make all of those things on Google for free, and they're pretty easy to use. Also Google Calendar, if you're not a planner, like paper planner person, I found Google Calendar to be really awesome. And then Google Scholar. So Google Scholar is really cool. It's just like regular Google, where it's a search engine that you type in what you're looking for, but it's only going to bring you to scholarly articles. So if you need reputable resources that are peer reviewed, you can check on Google Scholar and type that in. But most of them sometimes aren't free. So my next option, last but not least, is checking your library's reserve. So I know at my school we have a library and it's online as well. So if your school has a library on campus, and you can go on online type of thing, they can bring you to a bunch of reserves. So basically what that means is that as a college student, most likely you're paying for access for a lot of free articles, a lot of free peer-reviewed scholarly articles. Your tuition includes a bunch of like PDF books and things like that. Sometimes you can even find your textbooks on a PDF version on your school library. So that is like a huge resource that I am throwing out there right now for sure. Even if you go in person to the library, you can sometimes check out books and borrow books, and sometimes they can even be textbooks. So for sure, that is a huge resource that's already included into your tuition. And I found that you're very likely to get reputable resources when it's from your own school's library. So yes, if you're a college student or soon to be college student, don't forget to ask your school about that or check it out. If you know where your school library is or you see it online type of thing, they'll most likely have a place where you can type in what you're looking for and it will bring you to those resources. I hope you enjoyed this video all about some websites and apps to help college students out. These have been so helpful for me over the many, many years I have been in school, and I really hope they help you as well. If you have any suggestions on apps and websites that you use that are super helpful, please feel free to comment them down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.